And we're back.
Before we went to the break, Robin, you was getting ready to jack up Adam. So.
Well, no, it's just something, it's just a piece of what I'm also passionate about, and I wanted to talk about it this way. He offered a dichotomy between asking, do I want 1/25th of a watermelon or do I want half of a grape? And I think the what I would additionally add to that scenario to help us make an informed decision is, if I can be guaranteed that somebody's going to bring me 1/25th of a watermelon every other day, do I want that? Or do I want a seed that I can plant that's going to today give me half a grape, but it could die, or it could tomorrow give me a bushel of grapes?
Right.
And that is the question between entrepreneurship and working in a corporation. And the reason I put it that way is because what I've become to appreciate more and more the longer I've been an entrepreneur is how difficult it is to also be in corporate America for a long term.
Absolutely.
Because when you think about, I have never gone to sleep and wondered what my boss thought about me. I have never gone to sleep worrying about a performance review and whether or not the higher ups are going to see me for my value, whatever. I have never gone to an interview to ask somebody, would you please like me enough, believe in me enough, trust me enough to give me an opportunity?
Right.
Now, the flip side of that is, and this is something that Pastor Juanita has always said, and I can remember this from 25 years ago, as an entrepreneur, every morning I wake up, I'm unemployed until I make something happen.
Right.
That's
The
right.
question is, which stressor do you prefer? Which one are you built for? Because everybody's built for something different. And for me, I'm built for the risk. I'm,
You like me. Well, that's the
I'm built
definition.
for the risk.
That's the definition of entrepreneur.
It
You
is.
like me. I wake up every morning with the risk. So Adam, let me put some law on what your scenario was about the grape and the watermelon. First of all, I talk about this all the time in the MWDBE Training Academy because it's very important. Let's take that watermelon. Okay, let's take that whole watermelon. Don't worry about the grape. Let's take the watermelon. That watermelon, guaranteed 10% of that watermelon is yours.
Okay.
Okay? So now, when you chop 10% off of that watermelon, that other 90% of that watermelon, why are you concerned about it? Because it's really not yours. 10% of the watermelon all depends on how big the watermelon is. Okay? You agree with that? So now, the guarantee part of it is that's your 10%. So what's wrong with you getting up every morning, like Robin just said, going to get your 10% of the watermelon?
Well, I don't think nothing is wrong with it, but
How many people, let me finish. How many people is going to wake up in the morning with the spirit of what Robin just said, entrepreneur,
not
or
that many.
are they going to sit back and play, man, They won't give me my 10% of the watermelon.
well, it's not that many. And you can look at the law of the numbers. Like, most people are comfortable. They're going to be stagnant, comfortable in their position. If I could get a salary, now I'm saying not me, but if I could get a salary and do that for 30 years, I'm gonna do that. Most people are gonna do that.
Well, guess what
for safety.
Guess what their salary is at? Probably in that 90. Because that's really probably corporate America,
Right.
like Robin talked about. And there's no better feeling to me, like Robin said, to wake up and have to ask somebody, well, do I have to do this? No, I don't have to wake up that way. I would rather wake up knowing how I'm going to get my piece of that watermelon.
I will say this, I mean, in our scenario, but it also can be feast or famine. Like I said, someday that grape might be, you might have a bushel of grapes enough to make wine.
Right.
And other days, you got a grape and some dust. And so you have to understand that there's up and downside to every side of it. And let's also bear in mind that other percent of that watermelon, that's that corporation saying, I'm going to take the risk to give you this guarantee.
Right.
And the place where we have issue with is how much of this risk did we already pay for?
Right.
You know, when you think about it, I was just glancing at something just a minute ago, and it's something I never really thought about. And we thought about what's a scam that's been a scam so long that we don't even realize it's a scam anymore. And one of them was utility companies.
Right.
When you think about the fact, and this goes back to these big corporations and these monopolies, that we pay through taxes for your infrastructure to be built. We pay for our our rates to use it, and then you turn around and charge us for it. Like, we paid to build you,
Right, and then you charge
and then
us for
you turn around
using
and
it.
charge us for using
Yeah.
with escalating rates.
Right.
It's just
However you want to, especially in Texas, with it
Without
being deregulated.
impunity.
Yeah, without
Yeah.
impunity, nobody cares, and so you just have to understand the factors surrounding the situation.
right.
Again, I feel sorry for people who is homeless, who don't have it. I really do. But on the other side of that coin, I want to know, why are you homeless? Are you doing anything to not be homeless?
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying? Or are you just waiting? Go ahead.
Speaking of homeless, did anybody see the article that came out in the Chronicle this week that talked about how Houston has taken 25,000 homeless off the street?
I didn't see this.
I'm going to pull that up. I don't know if we have time. When we come back from the break, I'll kind of share some of that insight, because it's so interesting, and having been around St. John's for so long, and having
Right.
worked in our school back in the early 2000s, where we really embraced children that were dealing with HIV, AIDS, pre-exposure to drugs and alcohol, and homelessness, to understand that there are so many factors that contribute that are beyond the control of the individual. Some that don't, but and it's just kind of a full circle thought, and I'll look it up and get the details. But we have done some things right to take homelessness off the street, but the challenge that it leaves, and Pastor Rudy talks about this all the time, is that it leaves on the street those who are the absolutely hardest to house.
Right.
And then what do you do for those? And are they still citizens? Are they still our brothers and sisters? Are they still our
absolutely are.
community? But it
Robin, you make
presents
me
a
laugh.
challenge.
You make me laugh because I can remember a few years back, we used to have what's the building across the street? I can't.
Bread of Life.
Bread of Life.
Yeah.
And I used to go and get some of the guys to help me do odd jobs. In crazy part, a lot of the people don't even want to come in Bread of Life. You know why? They don't want the rules. They don't like the rules.
Oh yeah.
And part of it is true. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a very real sentiment to that, is that the rules on the inside. But the
Right.
interesting thing that I've learned being around here over the years is that there's rules on the inside, but there's also rules on the outside.
On the outside.
Right.
We just may not be familiar with the code, but there are rules in every gathering of humanity. Whether it's a homeless encampment or whatever, there are rules everywhere. And I know we're kind of all over the place, but I really want to see what it is that Houston has done right, because we always talk about what we're doing wrong and what the government is falling short on. So I would like to share something that we're doing
Well,
right.
while you're doing that, we'll go to a break. How about that? You're listening to the Gary Wade Show on 102.5 FM. Amazing. Your do good through good station. Keep it locked, guys. We'll be right back.